This video is gonna be intense because I have collected enough indignation about society itself to come here and express it. Ideas are getting more thought-provoking and more dangerous, so I hope you are following. I wouldn't come here recording this video except for a particular event that happened to me a few hours ago. So this argument only adds to the idea of determinism, that because I had no intention to make a video today except for that thing happening which filled my head with thoughts that made me record a video necessarily. There is nothing that screws your life more than society. Society throws you into existence, and as you live you have to follow its rules. Society, of course, is a form of civilization that grants well-being, that maximizes pleasure and minimizes pain. At the same time, it shapes you and forms you into this person that it approves of, that it accepts. Once you rebel and break this character, you become an outcast who still didn't reach the best type of society, a society that is built on intellect, understanding, and science, not a society which is built on religion and gods. I mean, think about it. How many things we are not allowed to do just because we cannot meet the expectations of society? Our behavior is shaped by our parents and our teachers and our family as a whole and our surrounding. It keeps shaping us since we are young into these robots who just follow orders. Now, of course, some things are pretty much understandable and still would be the case even in a secular society. But some other things are just outrageous and very much irrational. Men are supposed to be this way. Women are supposed to be this way. Where do you get those rules from? God says so. Do you have any evidence for God? No. They have no evidence for God. They have no evidence for the truthfulness of a certain religion, yet they derive rules from them and live their whole lives following those rules. Isn't this foolish? Isn't this very unwise? Isn't this suicidal even? Because you have only one life. Yet to decide to build it on an illusion, on something which has no evidence. Whatever you want to do something new, the idea or the question of what would my neighbors think of me? What would my parents think of me? Let me tell you what, fuck your neighbors and fuck your parents too. Your parents are the biggest selfish people that you know. They cursed you by bringing you to existence. Now they try to curse you even more by shaping your life. Society lives in extreme hypocrisy. They want to do something, yet they fear the outcome of what they want to do. Yet they give this surface of cleanliness and purity to the external world, but they are still not pure. Whether there was no society or whether this whole civil structure be cancelled, only then you would see the true colors of the individual. There is pleasure in conforming to society. It's called virtue. You feel rather a pleasure when you are virtuous. It's an intelligence, one who knows how to blend with the crowd. And when you blend with the crowd actually rewards you, and you think you are being virtuous, but you are only a sneaky son of a bitch. There is pleasure in purity and there is pleasure in fucking around. You take pleasure in purity by conforming to society and meet the expectations that society have of you. Also take the reward that the society gives to you, and it's just a hypocritical reward because society wants to do that action, but it cannot itself, and you by not doing it, it rewards you by being like the society itself. Take the pleasure of purity by conforming to society, of being rewarded by being accepted in the tribe, and also adhering or rather following or submitting to a religious doctrine and worshipping God by not doing that act. But this never means that you still don't want to have sex. There's a passion within you that burns. And I tell you what, this passion doesn't know that you are actually obeying a social structure or obeying a religious doctrine or a god. This passion wants to get out. This passion wants to be real. Your DNA wants to pass to the next generation. What results from this conflict? Libido and psychological problems. The individual who conforms to society finds no other way to satisfy his sexual needs but to channel them into activities that are approved by society itself, like art, design, traveling, reading books, writing books, being creative or productive, or philosophy itself. If Freud is correct, all the great men, philosophers, inventors, explorers are not that great at all. They're just horny men. Well, it would be only a good if this libido got actually channeled towards this way. But what about if you couldn't like channel your libido towards those activities? Then what? Morbid, cursed, frequent masturbation. Society has doomed the individuals to this path. Do you think that the animal within us cares about religion or society or things like that? Do you think so? We have invented those things, and those things right now are haunting us. Of course, they do have advantages like keeping us safe and maximizing well-being, minimizing suffering. Yes, but in terms of being your true self rather than just sex, because I feel like I talked a lot about sex, which shows the seriousness of the problem. Society actually does a great job in minimizing suffering and maximizing well-being, but in terms of other things like maximizing your existential power or like finding your true self or things of the sort, we find ourselves hindered, impeded by expectations. This is the case for men. I could only imagine how harder it is for women. Secular morality is superior because it can be changed by new evidence being presented. It goes hand in hand with science, our best tool towards discovering reality and the truth. But we still don't have that 100% in the world, do we? Because we still believe in fairy tales. Once you start doing something else, once you start living by your own code, once you start creating your own morality, like what Nietzsche said, it points towards you fingers of accusation, the sensation of inferiority. They don't want you to travel the world, they want you to spend all your money in a social institution, which is marriage. Just stay in it, no matter how horrible it is. Just stay in it and sustain it and be a regular inferior person. Das Mann, as Martin Heidegger said. Society doesn't want you to attempt to be the strongest man. Just work in a factory or work in an office job, get married, have some children, go with your friends and play cards in coffee shops and die. Because once you start to demonstrate your existential power, why are they so refusing of your new behavior, of you embracing your new code? Why are they so resentful of that? They are so because they deem you as being superior, yet because they are hypocrites, because they occupy a system which results of hypocrisy building up inside of your psychology. They want to be like you, but they can't. And what can they do? They can only point fingers of accusation. They can only laugh at your face. Once you embrace your existential power, your design, you show them that they are inferior. Because you point directly to something that they could have become, but they couldn't because they lack the courage, unlike you. Then your very existence becomes torturing to witness. Every time you do it, every time you hit another win, they feel as though they have abandoned their true self. Then every contact with you triggers pain and psychological regret and remorse. Then those people do not really hate you personally, but they only hate how you make them feel about themselves. Your existence becomes insulting to their whole identity, an identity they have built and take comfort in for years and years. You came and you shattered that with your hammer of indignation. Whenever they see you, they feel insulted, they feel cursed, they feel abandoned, they feel regret. And what can they do? They can only rationalize it negatively or point fingers of accusation, ridicule and humiliation. You take orders from a god. I am my own god. Bitch, you will live a max of 80 years, yet you still take orders from society. Fuck you and fuck your weakness. Why do you want to live like your father? Because it feels safe. Stay in pain and regret and the suffering of what if. Rebel against the system. It's not something divine, it's something that we invented. Doesn't mean that's actually wrong or correct, it just is. As long as you are contributing in maximizing well-being, go crazy. Let nobody tell you what to do. They can take that and shove it up their ass. Take responsibility of your own decisions and actions. You have a good life, that's you. You fuck up your life, that's you again. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next one.